Hi guys, RIB, Robert Ian Bonnick. How are we doing today? So I want to talk about, success through mastery. Success through mastery, right? So this was inspired. So I've always been a mastery proponent, meaning mastery is the pursuit of always getting better, but bit by bit, in a way to underachieve, right? Your way to success. So watching a YouTube about Kobe Bryant. So I've always been a Michael Jordan fan, not sure about you, but Kobe Bryant was incredible, right? And the more that I delve into him, the more I see, right? And this guy was extremely powerful. And even Phil Jackson said that he's never met anyone who's got a work ethic like Kobe Bryant, right? A work ethic by Kobe Bryant. So digging into his story a little bit more. So played basketball in Europe, in Italy, young. We went there and quite lonely, right? Because he didn't speak the language at first. And, he was around, Italy, so it's not his native tongue. Basketball was okay. But when he got back to the States, he realized how far behind he was of everyone else. So while he was barely able to touch the backboard, his compadres in the US were like windmill dunks, reverse jams, right? So they were in a different place. So he already knew he was behind, and he knew that he couldn't make that up quickly. So what he did was really smart, and it's got all the hallmarks of mastery, right? So what he did was he said, look, every day I'm going to get better. Every day I'm going to work on something and I'm going to get better every day. So if I'm working on shooting on Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to be better than I was on Monday. Wednesday, I'm going to be better than I was on Tuesday. Thursday, I'm going to be better than I was on Wednesday, and so on. So that's what he did. But here's the thing. He didn't commit to it for a week, for a couple of days, for a couple of hours, or for a couple of months. He committed to it for years, right? So he committed to it for years. So he knew that this was going to be a long process, right? And that's what he did. But as we all know now, Kobe is one of the best basketball players of all time, right? But you can see how he was working, which was mastery. And, you've probably seen all the conversations you have with Jordan where you call Michael Jordan at like 3 in the morning, let's go shoot. Or 4 in the morning and wanted to know the tip on that fadeaway shot or that tip on the step back, whatever it was. So he was an animal, in a good way, from the point of view of he just wanted to master his craft. And obviously we know where that ended up, right? Become one of the best basketball players of all time. But what he also realized was emotions, right? Not to be driven by your emotion, not to be sucked into that game, but to acknowledge them and to love them, right? So there'll be times where he was entrusted to take that game-winning shot and he would make it. Obviously he'd feel amazing, I made the shot, we won the game, I feel amazing. But there was times, maybe 2 or 3 days later, because as we know in the NBA, you play 3 or 4 games a week sometimes, he would be entrusted to take that shot and he would miss and feel awful. Just feel terrible, make him work even harder. But here's the thing, he realized that was part of the game. So as we go around this cycle, of committing to mastery, getting better every day, right? And getting better results because you're committed to it. And the results increase, then what's happening here is that you're getting more juice into the system. The more juice into the system, the larger it becomes. So we begin to really start to expand larger and larger and larger. And magic happens, miracles happen, great players are born, right? Where in your life could you apply the same logic? Where in your life could you apply the same logic? One other thing, about mastery, which is this underachievement, right? So often we start stuff, right? We don't finish. Or we start something, like, for example, let's say I commit to getting up at 5 a.m. 10 nights in a row. 10 mornings in a row, right? 5 a.m. So what can happen is that maybe on days 1, 2, and 3, I start really well. Day 4, already waning a bit. Day 5, I fall off the rails, right? Now, what happens for most people is that because that one day they've failed, they just let the whole thing go. How many times have you done that, where you let the whole thing go? Not realizing that 67%, in other words, so 67%, let's round it up to 70%, right? So if you complete 7 out of 10 of those days, that is enough to create a habit, right? Who knows? Who knew that? Not many of us, right? So 7 out of 10 days, 67%. We rounded up 3% to 70, but 67%. If you achieve it 67% of the time, it will be enough to create the habit. Once you create that habit, then the rest of it is history. So, for example, if you're doing weight loss, right, and you want to lose a titanic amount of weight, right, and you think you're going to do it in such a short period of time, some people have done it, sure. But you'll be far better off if you underachieve. So this is your level here. This is your conscious level. If we go beneath that level of consciousness, right? So we underachieve. Maybe it's like 5 or 10 pounds a week, instead of like 5 kilos a week. I'm giving an example, right? So if we do that, what happens is that we go under the radar of our consciousness, right? We go under the radar of that judgment that we all have of ourselves. And what happens is that we underachieve, and we gain momentum, right? To then maybe appear above that level of consciousness. What is that level of consciousness? You'll know because you'll start to self-sabotage. Who knows what that feels like? We all do, right? So by doing this, by putting those 2 or 3 things together, right? Mastery, getting better every day. The understanding that 67% is all you need to complete for it to become a habit. And then underachieving. So going under our level of consciousness in that area of whatever it is you're looking to do. When we combine those 3 things, what happens is that it creates this ever-expanding cycle, which is feeding the juice of your system because you're getting results. And you're beginning to love and enjoy the process. And when you love and enjoy the process, then it's complete. All right? Trust that's been of value. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye for now.